Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
And we are back with Carolyn C.J. Jones, our amazing friend of the show, coach and author, forgiveness coach, and someone who's just a really good person. And I want to welcome her back here to the show because each and every week she brings a smile to my face, and I hope she's enlightening you as well. Hello, Miss Carolyn. How are you?
I'm great, Jill. How are you?
I'm great. So, a woman of many titles. How would you describe yourself?
An entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
I would describe myself as a curious person who is curious about others, who is very compassionate and empathetic.
Yeah. And I'm going to also mention that you help many people as an author, as a forgiveness coach as well. What brought you into that field? Because I don't know many forgiveness coaches, and I know you ran into one quite a few years ago, right?
Yes. She ended up doing the cover for this book.
Yep. Wow. Yep. I see it there. The Art of Forgiveness, A Promise of Peace, one of Carolyn C.J. Jones's books.
Well, here's the story. I had a chaotic and dysfunctional upbringing, and when I left home, I ended up resenting it for the next 30 years. Well, I drank and drugged over it that whole time as well, until I crashed and burned with my drinking over an unrequited love, and I got sober. 4 years into sobriety, I discovered a way to forgive my past. So what I felt was this incredible peace and freedom from resentment I'd always felt. It was immediate and immense. Well, I loved that so much, that feeling, that I want to pay it forward to others. I know there's a lot of problem with people who are resentful over their childhood still, and they're adults. Why, I took care of an 89-year-old woman when I was caregiving who went to her grave with a resentment against her stepmother for saying a pretty innocent thing, but my client has carried it with her all these years and couldn't let it go before she died. And so I want people that hear me, if it's appropriate for them, if they have a resentment that's really bothering them, I want what I have to say to help them.
And could you give us any advice for our listeners out there who may need some help and do need some guidance? Any initial steps, any tips to maybe help someone along that way in that journey? Clearly, you can help them fully, but any few things in particular, what would you start with?
Yes, there's actually two things that I would recommend. The first is gratitude. One can change, or you can change your whole life using gratitude. It took me years to become grateful, to learn how to live in a state of gratitude, and that was in sobriety. I was 7 years sober before I actually got it. Well, it's transformational. And so you can change from here to here. That's what happened with me, along with the forgiveness. So if you can be grateful for one thing, just one thing every morning, write it down. And write down why you're grateful. I'm grateful I got out of bed today. Why? Because that means I can walk.
Yeah.
That means I'm living another day.
Excuse me, I had to sneeze.
Bless you.
Thank you.
The second thing is a self-appraisal. This is the number one thing. I'm thinking of another word for it. Well, this is the number one thing that can bring you peace, freedom, and empowerment, in addition to forgiveness. This is on the way to forgiveness. It's very simple. There are two parts, and part 1 and 2, and they each have an A and a B. So part 1A is write down 2 kind and loving things you've done for people in the last 2 days. Just 2 kind and loving things. That's A.
Okay.
And B is write 2 kind and loving things you've done for yourself in the past 2 days. When you write what you write, I want you to reflect on it and revel in the fact that that is who you are at your very core.
Yep.
You are a kind and loving person. That is who Spirit wants you to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's who we all are. And then, hang on. And then write down, this is part 2. 2A is write down 2 unkind, unloving, and maybe even mean things you did to another. And B is to write 2 unkind, unloving, and mean things you did for yourself or to yourself in the past 2 days.
Yeah.
This portion is so empowering, and I'll tell you why. First of all, do away with the embarrassment. Well, you can stay in embarrassment for a little bit, but do away with that. Do away with shame, humiliation. Just do away with all of those and look with an air of curiosity.
Okay.
You're curious about what you did, and you want to know why you did what you did. So say you did something mean, and you recognize it. Then the next step is to look at what is the feeling that was behind that
Okay. Yeah.
meanness. And there's various feelings such as hurt, humiliation, shame, embarrassment, loss, the threat of loss, grief. Those are all feelings underneath of our resentment, underneath of our mean behavior. And then the next step, once you identify what the feeling is to think back when that feeling first happened. And when you remember that incident, that situation, put yourself back there for a minute as your adult person, your adult self, and give yourself compassion. Give yourself compassion. Isn't that powerful?
It is powerful. Compassion. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for
Yes,
making me think of this because wow.
yes,
Wow.
and the thing is, the reason this is empowering, and the reason it's empowering is because you learn what's behind your behavior and why you're doing certain behaviors, and that is empowering.
Yeah.
It
Wow.
truly is.
Well, any advice about empowerment for us that you want to leave, give to us and share with our listeners today? How else can we become empowered?
Forgiveness. If you forgive, once you go through the method that I created, the Yippee method of healing, the end result is forgiveness. And that in itself is empowering because your heart is set free. That's what forgiveness is all about, is becoming set free from the resentment. And the empowerment comes by feeling that incredible peace and freedom. That's very empowering. So that's another way to become empowered.
I find independence too, right? Doing something that makes you something you do on your own, whether it's gardening, whether it's working, whether it's just makes you feel really good.
Good point. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that empowers me. Yeah. Knowing as my
Mm,
mom too, I take care of my kids. That's empowering. Stressful, but empowering. So you're right. Things that
yes.
empower us are good for the mind, body, and the soul.
Hmm. Nice.
Yeah. Now, any advice to someone out there who's listening? You also work with those that are grieving, right? And no matter what type of loss it is, right? Whether you lost a spouse, a parent, a sibling, a child, or loss of, I mean, people also cry and grieve over a loss of job, loss of self.
That's right. Loss of a relationship.
Yeah.
Loss of a normal childhood. That's another one to grieve over.
Mm-hmm.
All those above and beyond grieving for another person or a pet, all of those other losses are sometimes overlooked.
Mm-hmm.
It behooves you to look at them because they can have a negative effect on you. Learn your lesson, come up with the gratitude from your experience. Do this, you can do this with a person who has died as well, or a pet. Actually, ask and answer 3 questions.
Okay.
What is the lesson that I've learned from knowing this person or lessons? What is the positive thing, or what are the positive things that I can take away from my years of knowing this person? And then, what about this person can I be grateful for? What about my experience with this person can I be grateful for? And when you ask and answer those 3 questions, number one, you become empowered. And number two, it helps resolve some grief.
Yeah. Wow. Got me thinking
Yeah,
there. And everyone, we all grieve in some way, but
we
I want,
do.
yeah. And around the holidays, it gets harder, right? Those, right? It gets harder around no matter where you live. The
That's
holidays
right.
are just that extra. By the way, did you
Yes.
happen to go visit your friend? You said it was in your, I don't know, was that a marina somewhere? You were going to see your friend? Did you ever get out on the boat or no?
No, I didn't because the weather got really bad and they were dealing with keeping their boat off the dock.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't go, but we're going to do a Zoom
Oh,
and
good.
connect that way.
Good, good. It's good to get
Yeah.
out and see your friends. And for you, I know your passion, one thing that empowers you is being on the water, and it's been a while.
Yes, you're right.
Aw. Well, what else did you want to discuss for the listeners today? We still have 15 minutes left in the show. We're halfway through. Talking to an amazing woman who's an author, who's a coach, and I think she's got something in her hand. By the way, how's your wrist? Is it better?
It's good. It's got a little bit of
Healing?
swelling, so I've got this compression sleeve on,
Mm-hmm.
but it's much better.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Healing up.
Great. So what do you have in front of you? Is that one of the pages of your books you want to show or read?
This is my book,
Okay.
and I want to share about our behaviors and looking at our behaviors, being introspective, and again, looking with curiosity. Certainly, I think back on the past about the years of my marriage. I think about my behavior during various angry situations in which I resented my husband. As I
Mm-hmm.
go back in time, I look without blame, with an attitude of curiosity instead of shame, guilt, or judgment. Mind you, that attitude took me a while to get to. It took me years. What I've discovered when I looked is I did my share of starting arguments. I first realized nearly 3 years ago my behavior was a part of our falling apart. Every once in a while, thoughts of my ex-husband cross my mind, and I come up with the realization of how much I did, in fact, lend to the demise of our relationship. With my controlling ways, things had to be my way. With the need to be right, I had to be right, and then it was my way. So I look at these behaviors and I go, are these something that I still do? And so I assess that. And I do at times. There are times when I try and control things because I've hit that spot where I'm beginning to feel out of sync. I'm beginning to feel what's the word? Sorry, I can't think of it. I'm beginning to feel angst. I'm beginning to feel angst. And chaotic, that's the word I was thinking of. I start to feel chaotic, and when I do, I start controlling other people. You know, research shows that when we grew up in a chaotic or dysfunctional background, we often become controlling people. That's because we are
Wow.
trying to gain control over our current situation because we never had that opportunity when we were growing up. And not being in practice at it, most of us kind of overdo it a little bit.
Guilty. Me too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't stress enough looking at your own behavior. There's a saying that goes around recovery rooms. It says, make a circle around yourself that's 3 feet in diameter, an imaginary circle,
Okay.
and think that everything inside of that circle is your business. So yourself and everything around you in a 3 foot diameter, that's all your business.
Mm-hmm.
Everything outside of your circle is not your business.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about it. And so, what I've been talking about looking at yourself and your behavior, lends credence to that little exercise so that you begin to look at yourself more in a different way. And that's all we really have in the end is ourselves. Instead of blaming people, we can look within and see if we got something started. Maybe we offended someone and they're just reacting to us, and we got resentful over their reaction. If you look at it closely, you're the one who got it started, perhaps. These are all scenarios that you can explore when you look at your behavior.
Wow. And it's so hard to self-reflect, to look within, right? A lot of us have our own block around our own bubble about, letting ourselves into reality. It hurts sometimes.
That's right. A lot of us drink and drug over it. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I did. Yeah. It's tough. It's difficult to look at yourself. When I was doing my first self-appraisal in recovery, they call it an inventory. You list out your positive and negative traits. I had pages of negatives, and I couldn't come up with more than a couple things that were positive about me. That's because I just couldn't look.
Yeah.
And so, no, if you want to look, you're okay.
Yeah.
Because remember who you are at your core is that kind and loving person.
That's right.
And that'll carry you through.
Beautifully said. Now, are you still doing public speaking as well?
I am.
Do you have anything booked coming up? I mean, you're
I
really,
don't, but, well, I do this
oh,
Thursday
good.
on Facebook. It's going to be through a Facebook Live, and you can go to Rhonda Liebig, Liebig on Facebook. Look her up, and it's the Fresh Inspiration Show.
Oh,
That's what
wow.
you're looking for. So, yes, I'm going to be on for an hour.
Oh, wow. One
Yeah,
more time, could you say it again? Because
yes.
I
Look
didn't have
up,
my phone on me. I just picked it up. Go ahead. What is it?
look up Rhonda
R.
Liebig,
So R.
Rhonda Liebig, Lieb as in boy, IG.
She's a health coach.
She is,
Perfect.
and it's the fresh air. What's the name of it? The Fresh
Fresh
Inspiration
Inspiration
Show.
Vitality Day at the Fresh Inspiration Ranch. Is that it?
Yes, that's it. That's her.
Very
You found
cool.
her.
Yes, I did. Wonderful.
Yeah, so join me tomorrow, Thursday. It starts at 8 and goes till 12 noon.
Oh,
I speak at
wonderful.
11.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, I'm looking here. Vitality Day at Fresh Inspiration Ranch. She has a lot going on. Healers Connection. She has a speaker series. Oh, wonderful. This is exciting. Wait, what's today's date? 10/26.
Yeah.
So show up 10. Hold on, I'm on the wrong date. October. Added an event. This must be it. No, this is Friday, November 12th. I see. Hold on. And I got to find it. I don't know. I guess she just goes live at that time. I'm not sure. I don't see. I'm trying to find it now.
I wasn't on the November 12th Fresh Inspiration show.
Oh, I'm sorry, it again?
I was not on the
Got it.
November 12th
Oh,
show.
no. That one, it's a one that's coming up. I'm trying to find your show so I
Oh,
could set an alert. So, because on Thursday nights, I'm over at, let's see, ice skating and I'm at soccer. But if I get an alert on my phone, I could peek in. So I'm trying to sign up for it. I just can't find the exact
aha.
thing, but I liked her page. So maybe it'll still pop up. Well, that's
Okay, yeah.
exciting. So you're going to share your journey, share your story with her.
Yes.
Great.
Share ways to look at the world through different eyes.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, good. I'm learning about her too. How did you become friends with her? How did you guys connect?
She asked me to speak at one of the Fresh Inspiration shows that was live. This
Mm-hmm.
was back in early 2000 and 2020. And somehow, I don't even know how we met. Oh, I know. There was an event listed, advertised on Facebook that was in Patati, which is not too far from me. And so I decided to go. The subject matter looked interesting. And there I met Rhonda, and she asked me to speak,
Got it.
and I did. And we've just been together ever since.
Wonderful. Aw. Well, we also have 4 minutes left in the show. There's so much to talk about with you, Carolyn. Anything else on the horizon for you that we should be aware of? Any more books coming your way? What's going on?
I've got that coming up on the 28th. Oh, what
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing is I have in the works the possibility of once I go through a training, I could be a corporate trainer, training corporations in relationship building, personal growth, that type of thing. So that's a really exciting thing that might be coming up the pike for me.
Awesome. Awesome. That's good to
Yeah.
know. Wow.
And other
Oh,
than that, I'm on Thursday at 11 o'clock on Facebook. Every Tuesday, I do a Facebook Live at 11 o'clock also, Pacific time.
so that would be
And
11, 10, 9, 8, 8. So wait, it's 11 p.m.
11 a.m., so it would
AM.
be
So that
2 year time.
got it. Okay. Perfect. That's right. With
And
3 hours ahead. Okay.
yeah, and that is all about my Yippie method of healing.
Yeah.
So we've gone through the first stage, which is the yearn stage. And the next stage we're going to investigate is investigate, the investigate stage.
Ooh.
Yes.
I'm liking this. And I got you. See, Carolyn C.J. Jones. I'm adding you as a friend. You also have to
Okay,
find
great.
me. Find me on Facebook because I don't even use this page. I use a fan page. So when you see my connection pop up, Jill Nicolini, search my name and click on the like page on the other page because that's the one I use. I don't use this one, but beautiful, beautiful. You're all ready to go. Are we live? You were live.
I was live at 11 o'clock.
There you go. I see it now. Cool. Like when she's wearing the same outfit, that's now. Oh, awesome. Awesome. I'm looking at your page now. Good morning. Oh, wow. Beautiful. Oh, I see the gate here, the webs of fear. Now I'm stalking your page. Is that your cat?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. What's his or her name?
Izzy.
Oh my gosh. I have a cuddles. I love kitties.
Oh,
beautiful.
Nice.
Wow. And there's Wanda. I see. Yep. She's having fun preparing for the Fresh Inspiration show. And perfect. I see you guys on there connecting. Great. This is awesome. I love that you're so active on social media too, Miss Carolyn C.J. Jones. For those listening, make sure you type in Carolyn, Carolyn C.J. Jones, because you don't want to get Carolyn Jones, the actress.
Right. That's right.
Oh, and then you also have another page, Carolyn C.J. Jones Speaker.
Yes.
I like that page too. Perfect. So I requested to be a friend and then I liked your page. So like me back and accept my friend request. Deal?
Okay. I will.
Great.
It's a deal.
Thank you so much, sweetheart. You have a great day. And let's remind our listeners the best form of contact for you
is Carolyn CJ Jones at yahoo.com. And you can check me out online. My website is carolyncjjones.com.
Perfect. I'm watching Carolyn's yippee method right now. Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. And we enjoy having you on the show as always. Looking forward to seeing you on your next live. If I don't see you on your next live or on the show, I'll see you right back here next week. Okay?
That sounds great.
Oh, well, have a great
day.
Much. Thank you, darling. Don't forget to follow me back and to accept my friend request. Two tasks. Thank you so much, Carolyn. Have a great day.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.